Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about my signed books. Now, I've never met an author, so all my signed books have either been bought online or in a bookstore, or I've won them off Goodreads. I don't exactly know what the first book I got autographed was, but I know after I got it, I really like the feeling of owning an autographed book. And since then, my collection has really grown and I'm really proud of it. I have seen a lot of videos like this one, but they've been mostly about signed books from signings and book events like BookCon and BEA, which are places that I've physically never been able to go to because I either can't afford it, don't have time, family problems, or I live in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing going on around me. So I decided to make this video because I know there's a lot of people like me and they just cannot physically make it to book signings or events. To start things off, I'm going to go over the books that I've won off Goodreads. And the good thing about winning signed books on Goodreads is most of the time they actually personalize the books. Not all the time, but most of the time. The first one I have is Quantum Beauty by Robert Greene. I don't know how to say his last name. You can barely see his signature, and when I entered the contest to win this, I didn't know it was going to be a signed copy, so that was a pleasant surprise. Next I have Never Tear Us Apart by Monica Murphy, and I'm not sure if this is a new adult or adult book, but it is signed. I think I also got some signed bookmarks and stuff with this book, but they're too high for me to reach at the moment, so I may do like a bookmark collection video too one day because I do have some signed like book swag. Next I have Dream Magic by Michelle Mankin. I think that's how you say it. And if I'm not mistaken, this book is actually personalized. Yeah. It says, "To Brittany, dream big," and then it has her signature at the bottom. So that was nice. I think this was my first personalized signed book. Next I have Catch Me When I Fall by Vicky Leah. And this may have been my first signed book. I'm not 100% sure. This is personalized too. It says Brittany, Sweet Dreams by Vicky Leah. This was another book I didn't know was going to be signed when I entered the contest. It just sounded really, really interesting and I love the cover. And this is another book I think I got some bookmarks with. Next I have Junction by Ken McAplan. I'm so bad at authors' names. So bad. Oh, and this one's personalized too. It says, Brittany, thanks for reading all the best, Ken. So that's nice. And then my last book from Goodreads is M and the Last Hellgate by Mark William Hammond. And this is actually book 3 of the series, and I did not know that when I entered the contest for it. So I still have to get the first 2 books of the series. But this is personalized too, and I cannot really read what it says. I think it says, "To Brittany, all the very best to you." Okay, next I want to go over my autographed series. This is either like an entire series that I have autographed or books that I plan to get the entire series autographed. This is a very short pile, as you can probably imagine. I have all 3 books of the Vicious Deeps trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy. And I actually bought all 3 of these books at the Book Warehouse in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And they just sounded really, really interesting. I don't really have a lot of mermaid books, so I've been really meaning to get some, and it sounded interesting, and all of them were signed. And since these were bought in the bookstore, all signed, none of them are going to be personalized. But all of them have this pretty signature on the inside of the book. So at the moment, this is my only like completely autographed series. But I do have 2 ongoing series that I plan on buying all the books autographed. First is The Sword of Summer and The Hammer of Thor by Rick Riordan. We got the gigantic R scribble, and I actually bought both of these books from Books A Million. And there's only 1 more book left in this series, and I am definitely getting it autographed. If I can't get it from Books A Million, I will be getting it from Books A Wonder. Either way, I am getting that book signed. And the last one is The Trials of Apollo, the Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. The second book of the series comes out in May, and I really cannot wait to get it. But this is a 5-book series, so it'll be a while before I have all of the books signed. And then I have 1 signed book that I got from Owl Crates. P.S. I Like You by Cassie West. And all of the books you get signed from Owl Crates are actually book plates. So they're actually a sticker that you just peel off and you put wherever you want to in your book. They're very, very cute, but I do prefer like the actual physical signature inside the book, but I understand why that can't actually be a thing. And now for the rest of the books that I got from either Books A Million, the Book Outlet, Barnes & Nobles, not many were bought from there, and Half Price Books. The first books I have signed are Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. It's actually funny because I saw this soft cover of the book for very, very cheap, and it had this autograph sticker on it, and I was like, I have to get it because it's like I want to read the series so bad. I was like, I don't like the fact that it's not hardcover, but it's signed. I can't pass it up. And here are their beautiful signatures in different colors. They kind of go with the book cover, red and green. And then, not too long after that, I run into this hardcover edition, and I'm just flipping through it, and I was like, I may buy this, I may not. But then I saw that it is signed as well, and I bought it without thinking, really. I was like, why do I need... I got home, and I was like, why do I need 2 autographed copies of Dune? But then I justified it, and I was like, this is paperback, this is hardback. I needed it in hardback. So now I have 2 copies of the book. But they're both autographed, so that kind of makes it okay. At least in my fantasy world it does. Next I have The Fever Code by James Dashner. It has this signature, and then if you flip a couple pages, it says first edition 2016, has his autograph, and then it says Wicked is Good. So it's kind of like double autographed in a way. I picked this book up as soon as it came out because I had just finished reading the Maze Runner series and I was like addicted to it, so I couldn't pass up getting this book. And when I saw it was autographed, I was like, yes, I can get a James Dashner signed book. And I hope one day I'll actually get to meet him in person so I can have him sign the entire Maze Runner series. Next I have Silver Shadow by Richelle Mead, and this is actually the only signed book that I bought from the Book Outlet. I wasn't actually intending on buying this signed, but this was, I think, the last book in the series that I actually needed, and there wasn't that big of a difference in price, so I just decided to pick up the signed copy. And I'm so glad I did because I end up loving the series so much. Next I have Lullaby by Amanda Hocking, and this was kind of funny because I didn't realize this book was signed when I bought it. Because I bought this at a little store called Five and Below in Orlando, Florida when I was there for my Harry Potter trip. And I just bought it because I was currently reading the Trill Trilogy by Amanda Hocking and loving it. So when I saw that there was another book of hers in the store, I just picked it up without really thinking about it and only paid $3 for it. And then when I got home, I was flipping through it and it's signed. And I love her signature so much. It's so cute. Next I have The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. This is another book that I didn't realize was signed when I bought it. But it was. This is book 3 of the Redneck Chronicles, and even though I haven't read that series yet, I'm super excited about having a signed book of hers because I've heard fantastic things about her books and her as a person, so hopefully I'll get to meet her one day. Next I have A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, and I may have gotten this at Barnes & Nobles, but I'm not exactly sure. I normally don't buy books at Barnes & Nobles because they're too high. But it is signed, and that's what matters. Next I have Glass Sword. And this is apparently a signed first edition that I actually got from Walmart, which is very weird. Walmart normally is lucky to even have books, let alone signed copies of books. I don't really like the way these are signed though, because they're like on a book plate in the interior of the book instead of underneath the author's name and the title of the book, which is where signatures normally are. But I'm not complaining, it is still a signed copy. Next I have The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. I actually had no intention of buying this autograph because I haven't read the first book in the series, The Wrath and the Dawn, and I actually carried this around the store for like 20 minutes contemplating whether I was going to get an autographed version of this book or just wait until it goes on sale online, but I finally wrote down and I said the hell with it, I'll just get it because I'll regret not getting it. So now I have a signed copy of this beautiful book. Next I have The Rose Society and The Midnight Star, both by Marie Lu, because it'd be awkward if one of them wasn't. Both these books I actually got from Half Price Books. It's for The Rose Society and Midnight Star. I would hold it open a little further, but I haven't read these books yet, so it's very, very stiff. I haven't heard much about this series, but I've heard a lot of great things about her Legend trilogy, so I plan on reading these after I read that series. I really need to get to that. But the colored font of those books actually hurts my eyes and gives me headaches, so I've been putting off reading those books. But I definitely cannot wait to get to these. And I'm definitely gonna have to get the Young Elite signed one of these days, because then I will have the entire series autographed. And the last signed book I own is Empire Storms by Sarah J. Maas. And I believe this is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series. And this would have been my second signed copies of hers, but I had bought Queen of Shadows at half price books because it was 20% off. And then like I went to Books A Million like right after that, and they had an autographed copy of it on the shelf. And I kind of reined in the impulse to buy the book, even though I had just bought it like an hour ago, just because it was autographed. And I was like, no, I'll hold off and I'll buy Empire Storms autographed. And I was like, maybe one day I can get like the UK editions, because I love those editions, and I get them autographed. So maybe, but I do own a autographed copy of a Sarah J. Maas book. I'm very, very ecstatic about that, but I still need to read this series. But this is a very, very large and complex series, so I've heard. So I'm kind of waiting until all the books are out before I actually read it. Well, those are my signed books. My arms are tired from holding them up. I know I'll be getting a lot more signed books in the future, so I may like make a part 2 of this video if I do end up picking up a whole lot more. And maybe I'll get lucky and get to go to BookCon or BEA by then. Please share with me in the comments below if you guys have any signed books and where you normally get them. Do you go to conventions like BEA, BookCon? Do you go to book signings? Or are you like me and you just buy all of your signed books online? Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!